Everybody, it's Mrs. Stratoni here with another cooking lesson. Today we are going to make hot dog octopuses. So you use hot dogs. We will use a knife. The number 8 will be important because we're going to make sure our octopus have 8 legs. We're going to need some water and a pot, and you put the pot of water on the stove, have it come to a boil. Then you can have ketchup or mustard or both. We will use some tongs, a plate, and then we get to eat, and it is delicious. So the first thing we're going to do before we start to make them, as I always say, is wash our hands. Put on the water, a little soap, scrub both sides, the front and the back is important. Rinse it off, and then dry your hands. So here we go. Over here, I have some hot dogs. And my hot dogs are partially frozen. They've been defrosting a little bit to make it a little bit easier to cut. And you want to take each hot dog and cut them in half. So it's your decision if you let your child cut. I'm using a big knife because the bigger the knife, the sharper the knife, and easier it is to do. You could also use a knife like this, but again, you need to either do it yourself or help your children because it is a little bit dangerous. Another thing I like to do when I make them is cut just a little speck of the end off so that they can stand up. It makes it easier to cut the legs of the octopus. So I'm going to cut all of these little specks off, and you can save those little specks or you can put them in the water to cook. So the next thing you do is, my water is on, it's close to boiling. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take it very carefully and you're going to cut part way through the hot dog, but not all the way down, and you're going to make 4 cuts. A great lesson for your older children. We're back to fractions again. We now have 4 cuts. Then there we go. So we can count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cuts. And we're going to do one more. You have to be very careful that you don't cut your finger and you don't go too far down. We can count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then you take your hot dog and you put it into the boiling water. So you can watch again. I'm going to cut one more. Cut. Cut. Can you guess what you think will happen to these hot dogs after I put them in the water and after they boil? What do you think could happen? Do you think it'll break up? This is called prediction. See what your children think will happen as you cook the hot dogs, because there's a reason it's called octopus hot dogs. So while your hot dogs are cooking in the water, this is going to be my last one that I cut for you. While they're cooking in the water, you can ask your child to help you decide what they want to eat with their hot dog. So I said I love ketchup. That's all I ever eat. So give them a ketchup, teach them how to squeeze it. Obviously the older kids will know. And you put a little circle on your plate there. Some people prefer mustard. So I always kind of like to shake it up a little bit because it can be a little watery. Talk about color if your children don't know color. Talk about the letters on the bottle. Teach them what the words say, 40% more, Frenches. If your children are just learning to read, these are great things to read, and they don't really know they're reading. Have them squirt the mustard. And then these are tongs. So the tongs are what you're going to use to take the hot dogs out of the water. And I'm looking at mine right now, and it looks like some of them are ready to come out. So you can shut the water off. Oh, look at those in there. What do you think? Aren't they cool? What are they looking like? Hey, I think it looks like, you got it, an octopus. Whoops, fell over. I don't want it to fall in. One. If you're able to cut them longer, the legs come out longer. Two. I remember making this for my children when they were little, and I made it for my daycare children. So if any of my former daycare children are out there watching, let me know if you remember when we used to make Hotdog Octopus. There you go. And there you have a delicious snack or lunch or dinner. Hotdog Octopus. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you try. You can always email me at Susan M. Stratoti, S-T-R-A-T-O-T-I, at bpsma.org. Bye, everybody. Stay safe and stay well. I miss all my students.